Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So over the last couple days, it has not been a very good time to be in crypto. And ultimately speaking, let's just be real here. It's not days, it's actually weeks, and it's months, going all the way back to the beginning of December when most altcoins actually hit a local top. Now, as we do really kind of look at this space right now, the market cap of crypto is down about 5.19%. We're sitting at about $2.68 trillion. And also the CMC 100, aka the top 100 cryptocurrencies, that's actually down to $162, 5.4%. Now, we'll talk about that here in a second, but look at the fear and greed index. It's at 17, extreme fear. Let me ask all of you out there watching right now, how do you feel about this market? Are you fearful? Are you bullish on this market at all? What's your thoughts? I'd love to hear your thoughts because, again, it does give us a little bit of a basis on where the sentiment actually is right now. Fear and greed right now on CMC looks like this. Again, lowest level since, well, going all the way back to even prior to the summer of 2023. I would argue that we're actually at the lowest levels that we've seen since going all the way back to about 2022 when FTX imploded. It's actually that crazy right now in this space. And just like I said, in terms of the CMC 100 index, this is a measurement of the top 100. And if we look at the list here, you could see how red everything has been in the last 24 hours. It has not been a good time for crypto. And even right now, this is at its lowest level since going all the way back to roughly the middle of November, which is why I said, it's not a rough time in the market, over the last week. No, it's been months now since going all the way back to about roughly the beginning, maybe even the middle of December, because this is when Bitcoin actually hit its local top. Now, also, even on CNN, we do have fear and greed down to 20 in the extreme fear levels. And this is going off of stocks. This is going off of traditional markets as well. And it is, I always say this, okay? It's an interesting time in the market when we start to see everything flip into extreme fear levels, because what ends up happening every single time that we do see these extreme fear levels, okay, we typically see a massive bounce. Now, I just want to show you guys this timeline because here we are at the lowest level since going all the way back here to the summer of last year, right before what ended up happening. Well, look at the massive bounce. It took some time, but by the end of August, we were already in greed levels. So the beginning of August, extreme fear. The end of August, we were already in greed again. And then we had a little bit of a sell-off into fear into the beginning, middle of September. And then by the end of September, we were back into greed levels. And then we were in extreme greed levels during the middle of October. It's just, this is all, emotional trading. It's how things run. Again, we go back to roughly the beginning of September around crypto. We were in fearful levels. By the middle, towards the end of November, we were in extreme greed. So you could see how fearful everyone is right now. I do expect this to bounce back in a big way. I always play the card in terms of, if we are in extreme fear, it's technically a time to focus up and lock in. If we are in extreme greed, it's typically time to be cautious because we base things in this space in an opposite way. If we are seeing, everyone extremely happy, everyone's bullish, it typically means that we are going to see a wipeout. If everyone is fearful, they're terrified, they're scared, they're negative, they're bearish, typically we start to see a big bounce back. Even during FTX, I told you guys many times, we were here during 2022. We were here during the FTX implosion. Guess what we heard? Oh, Coinbase is next. Binance is next. Get out of all the exchanges. Everyone, get out. It's going to implode. Everything's going to zero. Everyone was so, terrified. They were so fearful. There was so much FUD all over the timeline. And guess what? FTX, it marked the bottom. That was the complete bottom of the cycle. Right now, stocks in terms of the pre-market, so this is the futures, not looking too good. Still looking pretty red. I am going to be watching how the stocks open in the morning, because this will definitely drive the market in a big way in terms of what, crypto does next, because we do follow the stock market right now. Outside of that, we are starting to see some pretty heavy headlines. This is actually from CNBC. This just got posted at 7 p.m. Stock futures fall on Sunday evening after S&P 500's worst week since September. Again, we're starting to see the bearish headlines. We're starting to see everything, picking up in a big way. Even, around Trump right now with the tariffs, which I told you guys, these tariffs are not beneficial for the markets because, again, it's short-term extreme pain. And we don't know how long it will take for these tariffs to actually even, result in anything beneficial for the U.S. economy. Yeah, it's going to, drive jobs here and drive, factories here. That's going to open up a whole new workforce essentially. But how long is that actually going to take? It will take months, if not years. So we need to really kind of take a step back and think how logically it is to have these tariffs right now. These tariff threats at this current moment in time, while the economy, even before Trump was, getting in, was not doing all that well. So this is just more pressure on that. Yeah, we have the rate cuts and things are looking better in terms of inflation, but let's just be real here. Inflation is not solved. Inflation is still here in a big way. We still have a lot of issues right now around the US economy. So these tariffs are just another big pressure point for that. But we have Trump saying that I hate to predict things. Trump doesn't roll out US recession amid, trade tariffs. Now, this is like the big thing that was causing volatility over the last 24 hours. During the last couple weeks, and technically the last couple, I would say last 2 months or so, was a lot of the news around the tariffs, but also the meme coin launches from the Trump team. And there was just a lot of, let's just be real here. There's just a lot of bearish news coming out from this admin. Now, is that all? No, of course not. There has been very bullish news as well. And I did outline this on my channel and also even on X. Just yesterday, I made a post actually around this. I said, it's kind of crazy to see Ethereum back to prices we haven't seen since going all the way back to 2023. And even if we look at Ethereum right now, guys, we're about around 2,000. We hit $2,000. We lost 2,000 slightly. What's crazy about that is look at the all-time chart. We hit a level not seen since going all the way back to November of 2023. That's how crazy the price action in this market has been. I said the sentiment across the space is at all-time lows, combined with the most depressing price action we have experienced in a while. What's even crazier is that a lot of altcoins are actually up 4x to 5x plus from the bear market lows, with some trading upwards of 10x plus. So at the current moment in this cycle, this is what the environment is like. Terrible sentiment, depressing price action, doom chart posts like 2008, dot-com bubble, etc. Meanwhile, we just witnessed the following. Banks greenlight it, the SEC dismissing case after case, presidential crypto summit, US Bitcoin strategic reserve, US crypto stockpile, major crypto bills being passed, and stablecoin legislation bills drafted. There is a lot more that I could mention, but do you see the hidden message behind all of this? Under the noise of negativity and abysmal price action, there's a ton of bullish moves being made. Typically, the good news builds and builds just like pressure, and eventually the price catches up. I think that we are at that stage right now where we are waiting for the prices of crypto to finally catch up and also even wake up. I still believe that 2025 will be a monumental year for not only crypto adoption and regulatory moves, but also the performance of these assets too. We will experience one of the largest crypto and altcoin cycles in history. You just need to make it through the trenches. And that's exactly where we are at right now, right? We are in the trenches. I compared FTX's bottom as trenches, 2020's crash as the trenches. When you make it through those hard times, the market will, give you what you really need to get through everything. AKA, you make it through the hardest times in the space, you experience the best time in the space. But I will warn you right now, seeing everything go up in your portfolio, seeing everything, doing very well, that's great. But the problem is taking profits. If you do not take profits, if you're not taking your initial investment out, you are going to lose it all. That's just it. I've seen people do this time and time again. You know, they see their portfolio going up and up and up, and they just think that's going to continue, and they round trip it back to starting point, or worse, even lower. So just make sure that you are taking profits, you are taking your initial investment out, and you are playing this logically. Don't take screenshots, take profits. Simple as that. But when we look at Bitcoin right now on the weekly, you know, I'm not too concerned just yet because we are still trading around that CME gap. We did close out the weekly right around the trend line. This current weekly candle, which, you know, has 6 days, 22 hours. It's going to be interesting to see this weekly candle because, again, we closed right around the same time as, you know, the previous November candle. We're kind of ranging on this right now on this current candle. So far, we're holding the trend. I would love for us to maintain this trend. I do not want to see us lose it, because if we do lose it, then we are going to see that mid-low region down here. This is an area that I do not like for Bitcoin simply because of altcoin holders getting completely wiped out. This would be about 67.4K to about 72.8K on Bitcoin. In terms of, you know, Bitcoin going that low, are we going to be concerned about it? Well, you know, I would flip short-term bearish because I want to see Bitcoin maintain a trend. I want to see Bitcoin maintain a floor as well, like actually form a floor. This is what the last roughly 3 days on Bitcoin looks like. When we zoom out outside of the macro, like 1 week, and we change this trend just slightly, because again, on the 3-day, it is a little bit different. You know, right now, this chart doesn't look all that bullish to me. In fact, it looks pretty bearish because we have yet to actually flip the supply zone. It's acting almost as resistance for Bitcoin. And the big issue here is that we do have lower highs. The only thing that's making me not be extremely bearish is that we are still intact in terms of the actual trend, and we do have a higher low going off of the February 27th candle. But at what point do we just say, all right, well, if the price action is extremely bearish, we need to wake up and, you know, smell the roses? I do think that that would be losing the trend, getting back into this level down here, giving it a little bit of time to actually form a floor. If it fails to form that floor, then it's basically over, in my opinion. Because again, what's the next target after we lose? Like, we can't keep losing support. We can't keep losing, you know, significant support zones, and we can't keep losing the previous lows and creating a bearish structure. And we just sit here and say, oh no, everything's going to get better. Everything's going to get better. Like, we just can't keep doing that. So again, I would say the biggest bearish signal would be us losing this trend, coming back down into these levels down here, not forming a floor like this. Instead, we break through. Now at that point, would it be too late? I don't think so, because again, a lot of altcoins are still up significantly off of the bear market lows, depending on where you bought. Again, I can't, you know, for a lot of people out there that bought late, you know, it's very hard to kind of structure a portfolio off of something that is, you know, already up 5x plus. I've always said, you know, if something's already running massively and you're getting FOMO, avoid it. There's other opportunities in the space. When it comes to XRP, right, this is what XRP looks like currently. XRP has not looked, you know, bearish for a little bit of time now. And in fact, right now, a lot of people will say that XRP does look bearish, but I don't think so. Right now, we are holding weekly support right around roughly $2.07 or so. We're just kind of ranging here, waiting for Bitcoin to decide what it wants to do. I would argue that XRP is kind of in the same position as Ethereum. And I don't mean right now in terms of like Ethereum's price action. No, I think that XRP has kind of taken the position of Ethereum this cycle, where Ethereum, you know, typically leads the altcoin market. I think XRP has now taken that position. I think XRP is going to be the leader here for the altcoin market. Maybe I'm looking at this a little bit more biased, but it feels as if XRP is just a dominant project over Ethereum right now. And I don't think anyone would disagree with me when we look at the price action of Ethereum versus XRP. But XRP still looks very good here. Bitcoin still doesn't look too bad, especially when we look at the weekly. I mean, the weekly, I feel like the weekly is a big, you know, tell of what's going to happen with Bitcoin here. If this right now, if stocks open fairly good, if the dollar continues to sell off as well, I don't think that this week's going to be bearish for Bitcoin. Now, we have to determine that off of unknown factors. Like, what if Trump does come out and talks about tariffs more, right? Like, if he's going to come out and talk more about tariffs, then we will most likely sell off. It's just that simple, right? We can't determine what the market does with unknown factors. But going off of what we have here, going off of, what we are seeing right now, I don't think that Bitcoin is going to lose this trend. Now, if we do, like I said, yeah, I do think that we should flip a little bit bearish in that moment. Now, does that mean impulsively selling everything and just like completely getting out? No, it means focusing on a floor being formed somewhere within major support that we've gone off of prior to this impulsive move to the upside. So again, we're kind of looking at 67, 68K. And then if we do form a floor there and we have a strong impulse, we need to clear some previous highs, aka we're going to clear the March 2024 highs around 74K. That will be a big signal. But again, we can't get ahead of ourselves. We have to watch what happens this week. Obviously, I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm not bearish yet. Again, I still expect this market to wake up in a huge way. We've been seeing some of the biggest headlines coming out from crypto. We've been seeing some of the biggest moves happening around crypto as well. I'm not flipping bearish right now, especially when XRP's chart looks like this. It still looks very good. And, just like I said, we're up significantly. I mean, if we go off of the bear market lows, let's not even go off of the bear market lows. Let's just go off the midline, right? I'm just going to go off the midline here. Guys, XRP is still up 346%. If we're going off the bear market lows, the exact bear market lows, we're up 600 and almost 50%. That's insane. And if we're just going off of like, again, a level that we had time to accumulate, because again, this is on the weekly, we're still up massively. So, I'd rather see XRP trading at $2.18 than it trading at 30, 40, 50 cents. So again, it's all perspective right now. I'm still very bullish on crypto, and we'll definitely keep a close eye out on everything happening this week. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.